And thankfully, Ange had finished his session and came over to us to pay respect. And what I really liked was Mark Falco held his hand out and said, "Hello, Ange, I'm Mark Falco." And he said, "I know who you are. I know who you are." And he spoke to us probably for about 3 or 4 minutes, a little speech. And he told the story because they'd just been beaten 4, I think, at Newcastle.
Ooh.
This was a few days later. And he said, the training's been very keen and very sharp, as you would expect after a 4-0 drubbing. He said, and the world and his wife has told me how we should defend. And you know what I've told them? I've told them next time we'll score 5.
Yes, that's the way you do it, man. That's it. That's what I've been telling people.
So he's got a purpose and he's got a plan. And anyone that says he hasn't got a plan B and all this nonsense. And I'm sure we was all disappointed after Leicester. Having said that, we saw the signs. We saw the signs in that first half. Wow, did we? And then the boys come back with a bang after a poor second half against Leicester, against Everton, and rightly won the game. And we're all feeling a bit brighter about ourselves. And guess what? A clean sheet. A clean sheet. Sonny is back on the goal scoring one. The new player, the left winger, looked sharp and aggressive with his running. And when you think about it, anything good that happens in a football match, there's something dynamic about it. The winger takes the fullback on, and he's gone. And Van der Ven steams through the middle of their team and then lays the perfect ball for Son to score. But it's done with tempo, not out of control, but it's dynamic. Any good play is dynamic. And I think that's what Ange is looking for from his players. And if it's possibly one of the reasons I haven't spoke to Ange privately about anything, actually. But you wonder why the Argentinian player, you would know his name more than me, the midfield player that doesn't seem to get a game. But that might be the reason why he doesn't get a game, because he's not dynamic enough.
Right.
And for instance, Bissouma absolutely mugged himself with his antics. And do you know what? He's very brave, very, very brave man if he thinks he can sort of mess about with Ange. I've never sampled it, but I wouldn't like to either. And therefore, I think Ange told him a few untruths. And then all of a sudden, he tightened his game up. Got left out, tightened his game up. His passing to people was sharper, was stronger. So much so a couple of times I thought, oh, you've overdone it. Oh, no, he's got it. The receiver's got it. And I bet you he was thinking, what can I do to make this up? I've got to be good. I've got to be strong. I've got to be purposeful. I've got to pass the ball right. I've not got to be sloppy, because there was a bit of that creeping into his game. And then of these positive thoughts, I bet you he thought, and actually to score would really do it for me, would get me back on the level surface. And guess what? He scored. And it goes to prove to me, which I've always thought, is that the mind leads the body. His mind was preparing to play right, to make it up to the supporters, to make it up to Ange, to, get himself back in the good books with the other players. And guess what? He delivered. That might have been, that one game off might have been the best thing that could happen to his career. Because actually, before he come to us, when he did come to us, I was delighted
Yep.
because purposeful, striding through the opponents, striding through challenges. And then he came to us, and all he did was get the ball and pass it straight back. Bump, bump. And that was probably some Conte coaching, but it took away what the reason why we bought him. And thankfully, hopefully, he's going to be back to his best again.
Excellent.
Van der Ven.
Oh, it's incredible, wasn't it?
How this player is progressing. He's got a pass in him. He's got a run in him. He's got a turn and a run in him. He's got a notice where anything done. I learned it. No one taught me this. I learned this when I played at the back in the second division days. That if you're purposeful with a ball and you run between two players, especially two frontmen, who are really sort of normally lazy when it comes to trying to win the ball back, they both sort of half go but leave it to the other one, and you just get through them. And do you remember one of the best goals we've seen at White Hart Lane? Son's goal against Burnley.
Oh, wow.
Just watch it again with my words, what I've just said. Run between two players.
I think
when you run between two players, there's doubt from them both. And they hoping that the other one does something about it. But actually, no one does anything about it. And that's why the gap opens up. But Van der Ven, I'm excited about this kid. No, he's not a kid. No, bad word. I'm fed up with reading about kids. They're young players.
Yep.
And I'm excited about his development, which is wonderful. And I've seen criticisms of the Man United manager being Dutch. Why didn't he know about this fella and sign him? And it does make you wonder, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah.